take you for your money with every spring. Well, I don't think I understand why we're making such a fuss, and I don't think I understand what's come of all of us, and I don't think I understand why we take this world for granted. I just want to get right back to Guitar Players Planet. Take me. Guitar Players Planet. 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 Sunny skies, the smell of palm tree air. Looking back, I could never feel fair. The way that music has touched my soul, the way that the sound holds its control. But I've got a new way to choose. I'm gonna start running back to the land of new. Oh, na 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 na. spell.
live.
Okay. Oh, we are. Okay. I'm on
Timer's
the
wrong.
I'm on the wrong screen. How's it going, everybody? I kept on seeing a 4 up. I'm so used to seeing a 3 up.
Yeah, I had you in multi-view.
And I got kind of weirded out. I didn't think we were live, so I apologize if I said anything inappropriate. I don't think I did. I think we're good. But hello, everybody. Welcome. This is our first night back in a while.
There he is.
And I promise everybody that there will definitely be no hockey cancellations, at least until the playoffs in 2021, when the Islanders finally beat the Tampa Bay Lightning in the final round of the semifinals. So we got another year.
Mm-hmm.
Barring any other family issues that anybody has, or any COVID 20s or anything like that come out, we should be good to go. Yeah, I think I hear Eric. I'm not watching the screen. I'm kind of going a little crazy. I think I hear him in the background.
Yep.
Yeah, he's there.
So you can make it. And I'm just
Sorry about that.
I'm just trying to get onto the YouTube channel to find out what's going on there, if anything. Your channel.
We figured you were playing with your peer.
Yeah, not so much yet.
As I say, he's got at least another week before he can start having Junior trying to sit there and do line drills up against it, see if he got it anchored well.
There you go.
That sucker's on height. That sucker's solid.
So yeah, we got a lot of stuff to go over. We've had like 2 weeks of I guess cloudy skies because of some people, and it's been ugly. But we got a lot of stuff going on. I'm just loading up some programs, so if I seem a little distracted, I apologize. But I think I'm good to go now. So we got some updates. We got some new toys. We got some scheduling announcements. And we have my first sci-fi tangent in a long time. So I got some exciting sci-fi tangent news. So that being said, let's start it off with the pier debacle that Eric's been going through. Eric, I think we've all seen the pictures of your pier that is now finally, it looks secured.
Oh yeah.
Did everything go okay?
Yeah. Actually, here, let me share my screen with you real quick. I can.
I can pull it up here, Eric.
Okay. So there she is.
Oh, you got it.
So
All right.
it's on. It's all set. Just waiting for either the Rasa or the new Edge 8, to put on there. So I put everything on this afternoon when I got home, and I didn't add any weights to it or anything like that, but I did go ahead and put the mount on it. Everything is right now. It's solid. It's rock solid. I mean, we got basically we used this is basically almost say it's 2x12 or 2x14s.
Okay.
That made the block, and we went down. We went down about 38 inches. So that was. I should have, if I would have thought about it at the time. Like I said, I had a really nice gentleman who helped me out.
We saw that picture of the guy that Mason that you had.
Yeah. So, but if I had the J bolts in there, it would have probably saved me a little bit more time. But I forgot about that. So we had I spent about $70 on epoxy. Went to Fastenal to get it on there. And
better to do it right than over.
Huh?
Oh my God.
Better to do it right than have to do it over again.
Oh, absolutely.
You're kidding.
Absolutely. And then
Rework sucks.
And then bought I bought stainless steel 3/8. The crazy thing is about this pier, these are 3/8 size. That's Ioptron's pier. It's 3/8. I went down. These are 7-inch. These are 7-inch bolts. I went down about 6 inches with, and then added the epoxy. Got it up there, and had my little putty knife waiting for it, because when I filled it up, then of course the epoxy starts coming up with it, and smoothed it all out, cleaned it all up. But no, now I'm really looking forward to it. My wife helped me out, making sure it was nice and level while I was tightening everything down. Everything looks really good. So yeah, I am really happy with it. So yeah, can't wait.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm telling you, this is going to totally transform your imaging capability and honestly your imaging enjoyment. And for those of us that are one of those select few, or not a lot of people have piers in their backyard. If you're even just able to keep, and I don't keep my telescope outside. My pier is kind of like the way you see Eric's is. It's open to the elements. It's open to the elements, so I don't leave my telescope outside. But even if you're just able to leave the mount outside, that's polar aligned and ready to go, and you just got to pop a telescope on that. Yeah. I'm telling you, the setup time alone that you save is well worth the effort.
Yeah.
So I do that with my tri-pier, and I just pull the scope off at night. But even
that's what I
do. To do a touch-up on polar alignment most nights.
Yeah,
it's usually close, but
yeah. I was saying with you, Jason, with the tri-pier is stable. Don't get me wrong. I love that tri-pier. It is a stable platform. But yeah, you do have to still make your adjustments. I have to do it every day, or every other day, to do my polar alignment. With this, I mean, I triple check to make sure that sucker was level and solid. So
yep.
It's going to be nice just to cross on there and go.
Yeah, even with the pier, I'm kind of crazy. I will just sit there and I'll still tweak my polar alignment like once a month.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, I would probably still do that just to for because I'm that same way. Maybe once a month, I'll probably still check it.
Yeah, just a little, because every once in a while, something shifts, even if it's just like a half a millimeter, it shifts because you moved something. And,
right.
I mean, I don't know if a half a millimeter is really going to make a difference in real life, but you know what? Just get that nice down to, the polar alignment down to 0, 0 or 0, 2 or 0, 1, and you'll be fine. I see we got George. George came on. Astro Dummies came on. How's it going, everybody?
Hey.
Yeah. So now we got 2 piers, a tri-pier or 2, and a wheelie bar. So that's what we have right now. And a wheelie bar. And a head.
That's like a mobile pier. That sounds like a mobile pier.
Yeah, I mean, that thing is solid. But and we have a half-finished observatory with a half-finished scope over at Tyler's. So, so hey.
It's coming along.
When you're green, you're growing.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, the half-finished observatory is actually out in New Zealand, right?
No, it's you have that one, and you have Tyler's.
Well, his is just a storage shed. It doesn't roll off. It doesn't do anything. He's still got to set everything up in the yard.
Oh yeah,
he's got to roll it out. I forgot he doesn't have a roll. He didn't make a roll off.
No.
But I still don't understand. Tyler, I just don't. I don't understand building that thing without having a roll off roof. I just don't get it. I don't understand. But that's okay.
It's not like there aren't plans on the internet for it. It's not hard to do. You just invert a garage door, on there.
That's all you do.
Do it that way. Yeah,
that's all you do.
It's not hard to do.
All you need is exactly what he said: the garage door rollers and the rails, and
that's it.
That's it. Put the roof on top.
I saw a neat one the other day. The guy did with like the little harbor freight winches, and
Yep.
he built a lean-to. You know, so he basically bought a kit shed, didn't put the roof on it, built out a lean-to on it, and does the little motor, or it's like an 1/8 ton motor, and they're
I saw
hooked up
that.
in series,
Yeah.
so they just roll on and off. So he hits a button that's got an auto stop on both ends. He just hits the button, it goes, and once it hits the auto stop, it clicks and kills the power to it.
Oh, that's cool.
Smart.
Yeah, it was
That's cool.
actually pretty sharp. I thought it was kind of a neat idea.
Nice. I forgot. I totally forgot Astro for Dummies was Tyler. Hey, Tyler.
Yep, that's him.
You know, there's a few Facebook groups out there. Home Observatory DIY,
Yep.
backup
DIY.
observatory.
Yep.
You know, so you can get a lot of cool ideas if anybody ever decides to do an observatory, a roll off, or anything like that. Because I don't have an observatory yet. I'm going back and forth on the thought of getting a sky shed pod or doing my own. And we talked about this several times, of looking at those Rubbermaid or Suncast resin sheds that you
Yep.
can, you know, quite a few people have converted those, you know, and they're relatively inexpensive. So, you know, there's kits out there and there's ways to do it.
Oh yeah, I think I want to say for a little while, maybe still. I know that I believe Alan Mitchell had everything in a Suncast shed where the home position was straight. It was horizontal, just so you could fit it and close the shed.
There's
Yeah.
one of the guys in our ASIR testing group, the beta group, that he literally took down a swimming pool, and he took the aluminum sides off the pool and a bunch of the framing, built a ring, and then used a bunch of the metal piping to make a dome, skinned it with 2 or 3 layers of tarp, and then he and his wife go out, lift the dome off, and toss it over the side of the deck, and he's got his 2 scopes inside of the dome.
Inside of the swimming pool.
Yep. Well, he used all the parts and moved it up on his deck because they don't use his deck
That is so
anymore.
funny.
Like,
That's
okay.
Yeah.
But
That
you know,
works.
the biggest thing is that, you know, to have the observatory is to protect it, especially from those elements, especially wind.
Yeah.
You know, especially, you know, that's the biggest thing that reason why people put up observatories is not just, you know, of course, for security, you know, and that peace of mind, but it's also to protect that, you know, you protecting your investment, and you can, and that wind break that you get, because you don't have to, you can image almost constantly, you know, if you don't have that wind to deal with. You know, so it's nice.
You can buy the actual poly domes, just the top, and if you build your own shed, you know, that to fit the footprint, you just bolt that sucker right down on top of your 4 walls. You're good to go.
I have seen that.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah,
I have seen that.
10-foot domes too.
That would be kind of cool. You know, because the domes aren't super expensive. You know, the domes themselves for the pods.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
a couple
stuff.
$1,000.
Yeah, a few $1,000s. So, and right now I've seen quite a few pods actually up for sale. I'm not in a position just yet, just working with everything I've just been doing. I'm not in a position yet to go whole hog and go and get one. But they've got them. You know, people are selling them. You know, so there's opportunities out there too.
Yeah, I'm actually looking for a picture for you. I found we just started a project in Connecticut, another observatory for a school, and I'm trying to find the picture of what the observatory looked like before we took it down. And I'll throw it up in a second. So basically, the dome was completely off, and there was a 10-inch Meade LX200 GPS open to the elements, totally open to the elements, for 7 years.
You should find it. Oh my God, it was rough.
7 years. It was unbelievable. And if I can find the picture on the email, I'll bring it up. But it was just, all you see is the walls of the dome and the scope just sitting there. And I had the scope in the store today, and it was just too far gone. I turned it on. It started
okay.
smelling. The hand controller was shot. There was a nice line of there was water inside the tube. I mean, it was just ugly.
It was a Meade.
Hey, it was still a 12. It was still what was it, a 12 or 10 LX200. I mean,
yeah. I mean,
this was the LX200 SMT, which means it was bought when Meade was still in Irvine, California.
Oh wow! So when they actually had some.
Yeah, this is the pre-China Meade.
Gotcha.
So.
Yeah, so I'll be curious to see what what Orion ends up doing with the brand. We'll see.
Yeah, it's gonna take a while. Oh yeah, June 1st.
Okay.
June 1st, it's officially bought. We had the press release right before Memorial Day, and so it's an official sale. It's all said and done. And we're waiting to see what exactly SKUs that they bring back. Because I don't know if anybody knows this, but right before Meade sold to Orion, they cut something like 100,000 SKU numbers, and they were only doing certain things regarding their higher end lines, meaning the LX200, the LX90s, and some ETX 125s. But for anything else, you couldn't get parts. You couldn't get really low end stuff. You couldn't do anything.
Wow.
So it was kind of scary.
Wow.
I almost wonder if part of that wasn't, especially with the parts, I wonder if part of that wasn't just like the company was pre-buying the tooling to get it over to their manufacturing.
I found the pictures. Let's see if I can get it. Let me see if I'll just give you a second to try and do this because I'm on a different type of thing than you are. So just give me a quick second.
You can do it.
No, I got to find out where. There's so many. There's so many looks. I got to find
31.
the desktop.
31.
31. No, I'm up to 64. So.
Oh, you added a new one. Okay.
Yeah, there's. Now I'm just looking for the. What the hell is it? There's desktop capture. There you go. And right-click display 2. And quick play. Okay, so here we go. So there's the Meade. Can you guys see that?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So this is the way it looked. Yeah, well, you'll see more. So here's the Meade, and you see the dome is upside down over here.
Yep.
There you go. That's how it looked.
Wow.
It's been like that for like 7 years.
Wow.
That's
like that.
Is that at a hotel?
That's at the top of a school building in Connecticut.
Oh, wow.
I don't get why they would leave it like that for that long. I don't get it.
So apparently, for a little while, the astronomy program was defunded, and it was just laid out, and nobody was in charge of it, and it turned out like this. So this is a structure that they have this on top like this, and on the bottom they have an entire educational forum. So TVs, white screens, everything you want. So Jeff and I are going to go there, build them so they can have the observatory on top, and feed EAA to the students inside.
Nice. That'd be great.
So, can't show you that.
So are they?
What? Screenshot.
So yeah.
So are they? Are they taking the scope in and out every night?
No, that scope has been
the...
sitting as you see it for 7 years.
How do they protect it from the elements?
They didn't. That's the problem.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing, Scott. Stay with us, bud.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I didn't catch
It's
that.
literally been so the dome blew off or something happened, and it stayed like that since like 2015.
Damn.
So whether rain nor sleet nor storm nor gloom of night, it kept that from its appointed rounds because it is now a dead soldier.
I was gonna say, being in Connecticut, between snow and rain and everything else, that thing has got to be fried.
Oh yeah, you know, believe it or not, I was able to turn it on. The on switch turned the on light turned on.
Wow.
Other than that,
smoking.
Nothing else.
I got a weird waft of something, and
I'm sure you did.
Mm-hmm.
And that was that.
How big is that? How big is that SCT?
That one I might be confusing. I think that's an 8.
Oh, it's an 8-inch. Okay.
That's an 8. Yeah, no, that is an 8. It's an 8.
Yeah, I didn't have anything to scale. Well, I mean, it.
No,
really
I thought it was a 10.
Like
it was
16
an 8
or something.
No, it was an 8. But they're putting in they're putting in a 5-inch refractor, and they're going to be doing EAA and all that. So
they're going to get the dome back in place.
We have to get a new pier because the pier is shot. We have to, and the pier is made by Pier Tech. So Pier Tech, we're getting in touch with them. So hopefully they're going to be able to donate some parts and help us out a little bit over there.
Was it one of the elevated ones, the ones that raises? Was it?
I think that's the way we're going to have to go because what the deal is that this pier is stupid high. I mean, it doesn't look like it, but those walls are like 6 feet tall.
Wow.
Yeah.
So if those are 6 feet tall, the tube is about 10 feet tall. So I think we're going to have to go with telescopic tube, and not only for the fact that you can't see the picture of it, but the platform's kind of weird. So we're going to have to get something that kind of raises up and lowers, because what's going to happen is, if you know anything about observatories, that hole and the shutter needs to be very specifically, the scope needs to be specifically placed in order to see all out of the shutter. Right. So if it's moved over a foot from the center, then everything is screwed up. So if you go from one side of the sky to the other, the shutter may not be in the right spot because the telescope isn't perfectly centered. So once we change that scope from an 8-inch to a 5-inch refractor, we may have to adjust the positioning of the scope up or down. Hopefully only up or down, because side to side should be good. Up or down we may have to go because the scope objective is going to be in a different spot than the 8-inch Schmidt. So I think that's why we're going to have to go with the telescoping pier from Tri-Pier, from Pier Tech.
Pier Tech, yeah.
So
hopefully they can help you out, because those telescoping piers, they're not cheap. You know,
no, they're not cheap. And listen, I'm not even looking for a break, because we actually sent them a quote for a large sum of money, at least large to me. I don't know, it might not be large to some people in this room, but it's large to me. It's definitely the cost of probably a low grade Porsche.
Sorry, anything over $100 is high to me.
Yeah, so it's about $30,100. So or $3,100. I'm sorry. It's a lot of money.
That's a lot of Benjamins.
And what's that?
That's a lot of Benjamins.
Yeah, it's a lot of Benjamins. And you know what? And it's not even about the money. It's just about doing it right. So we already have some experience with 2 observatories that we've done over the past couple of years. So I think we're going to be good with this, because this person isn't going to skimp on the money. So
Well, good.
So yeah,
Good.
let's see. I see some other. I think it's just George and Tyler are going back and forth.
And not believing that the sale could actually happen.
Yeah, I mean, it happened. It's a done deal. I mean, and I bet you they got it for a song. I bet you they got it for a song because they were in such financial trouble, from what I hear.
They got it for the name. Let's be real. They got it for the name.
Yep. And you know what? And it's going to be interesting to see because over the past couple of years, and by the past couple, I mean the past 5 to 10, Mead's name went down a couple of grades as far as I'm concerned.
Well, and honestly, they're probably more buying the patent rights for all of the stuff and the residuals than anything else. Because, you know, the state of where Mead was at the time of the sale, the name was pretty well toast.
Yeah, I mean, but they still going to keep the name, I think. And I think they're really going to try and rebuild it. But
they'll keep the name, but really the value in it was getting the patents and the royalties off of the designs.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler's funny.
Oh, I know, and that's okay. You know, Tyler is lucky he can add to 30. So I mean, I'm not even worried about it. So my math is actually very good. However, I have been up every morning at 4:30 in the morning. So if I seem a little, that's why. And I think over the past
utility, I can tune you into my kids. Baby cameras.
Oh, absolutely! I'm into self-torture. Bring it on. I mean,
he'll have you up every hour and a half all night long.
That's okay. That's quite okay. Listen, you know what? I'm up over every hour anyway because every hour my dog goes to the bathroom and jumps on me for a treat. So, yeah. The one good thing about the dog is I give it a treat, it goes to bed. A baby's a different story.
Yeah, you feed it and it just wants to. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
pretty much.
I had no idea why they wrote that children's book, Go to Sleep.
Yeah.
I now know.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard the audiobook?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
Samuel L. Jackson reads it. Oh, it's phenomenal.
Oh, no way.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I gotta get that.
Yeah, he's MFing all over the place.
Oh, well, I think there's a YouTube clip where he actually reads it on YouTube. It's an experience.
Oh, man.
Not for those small ears.
There's nothing like my man from Inglewood reading that book.
Oh, man.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
He was a perfect narrator.
See, my mom was all over my dad because he found this book series called Walter the Farting Dog. My mom was not as enthused as all of my nieces, nephews, and my children are to hear about the stories and whatnot of Walter the Farting Dog. And I said, Mom, I can make Dad look like a saint. And I whipped out that video. She's a good old church-going Southern Baptist gal. She was blushing. Yeah. She was rather mad at me.
Nice.
I'll bet.
Nice.
But it was worth it for the chuckle I got out of Dad because it made him look good.
Oh, what happened there?
That's just
Captain.
This one.
Captain Underpants. Somebody was talking about. Oh my goodness! There he is.
The wild man.
You let him out of the cage this early?
Yeah, well, you know.
Wife doesn't know. Got it.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, none of us have done any imaging probably in the past week or longer because of this.
No.
Because of this weather. So,
no, I did flats, but that's about it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do flats just to be able to do anything.
Yeah.
Well, you've had a year. How come you haven't done flats yet?
Well, I have done flats.
Calibration
I just
frames?
need to do them again. I just need to do them again because I've changed my image train so many freaking times it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
now
I
I have to
finally
do
got
I
my
have to do
image.
darks too. So
Yeah.
I do everything.
Well, darks you can do right now. I mean, you don't need to do
Yeah,
that
I know.
side.
Yeah, I know.
All
I'm,
right,
I'm
so
really waiting on those narrowband filters.
This is one of those.
Hoping
This is
those
one of
come
those
through.
calls. One of those call outs where you really want to start. Personally, I really want to start thinking about remote imaging.
All right, well, that's good because I was just bringing up Telescopius for that reason.
Okay.
Did you find the reference for Karina?
I did find one finally. I had to use something behind it. It really took a while to find out some sort of NGC designation for Eta Carina, the Carina Nebula. It really, I mean, I went on Wikipedia, I went on everything to go look at it, and it was almost, I couldn't find it for whatever reason.
He
But-
is just like Jackson. Oh my God! I'm sorry, Dan. Your boy, he
Yeah.
is just like my 12-year-old. Good God!
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
The best
Yeah.
part is,
He's about 2 seconds away from a massive freaking Melvin. Okay.
but the best
You guys
part is,
remember Melvins, right, from high school?
oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But
Oh,
we're recording
He's about 2
this,
seconds away from a massive Melvin.
and eventually he's going to graduate or get married. This is really
Yeah.
good ammo
Yes.
to use for about that time.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I'm not kicking him out right away, because this, what happens in the house stays on YouTube.
Yeah.
No!
Forever.
Well, that's okay. We got bunny ears.
Oh, my goodness.
Just remember,
All
it's
right,
recorded.
so
for the kids.
here we go.
Kids.
Yeah.
Kids.
Sure. I'll help you out.
All right.
Oh, there's
so,
Karina.
So there's our next project.
There it is.
Oof. Is that which scope did we wind up with?
Well,
Is it
this is
still the
this
one in
is
Chile?
not- this is the one in Chile.
Okay.
This is the Takahashi 150,
Okay.
Man,
That's
make it full
a
screen.
nice scope.
and here it is.
Yeah, that's a nice scope. That's
Nice
a
Paramount mount on a Takahashi.
make it full screen.
What is it? Better?
Yeah.
Can you hit F11?
You know what? It is. Let's see.
Trying to get the image up.
There you go.
That's F11.
Yeah.
There you go. Yep.
All
There
right.
you go.
Yep.
So this is done. This is actually in Spain. Okay. What is it? It has a Moravian G4 camera. And the TOW 150,
Only
almost
RGB.
1100 mil. What's that?
I'm sorry. I was just looking at the filters. It only has LRGB.
Let me see.
It says that it's filtered. It just says LRGB: luminance, red, green, and blue.
It does. Okay, so it doesn't do narrowband apparently, which is not necessarily bad for Eta Carina.
I was going to say, for Eta Carina, that would be desirable to do LRGB.
Yeah, that's not necessarily bad. There's not a lot of H2 regions in Eta, even though it would be nice to
Pretty
get some
bright.
H alpha data. Yeah, it's pretty bright,
Okay.
and you'll be fine with LRGB with that. But it's an f3 focal ratio. You're on a Paramount PME on a 1100 millimeter focal length high refractor. I mean, it's a TOW 150, and good to go. So I think that's kind of where I plan on going with that, because that's one of the few scopes that they had that would fit it all.
Okay.
There are a couple other ones, but
Now that one's
like
in Spain.
yeah, that one's in Spain.
So that's still northern. That's still northern hemisphere, or is it?
Yeah,
just
but it's
past-
low northern.
It's normal. Okay, it's low northern. Gotcha.
Yeah, it's low
Yeah,
northern.
It's close to the equator.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So that's not a problem. It might take us a little while longer to gather the data because it will be up shorter periods of time, but it'll be fine. There are other ones. They even have something like this, like 100. They have this one. It's a 135 millimeter Samyang.
Oh yeah, I have that. It's a Roku.
Yeah, so I'm like, what? I'm like, why would we even do that? But okay.
Yeah.
But
I'll tell you why it's there. It's for the people that are the armchair astronomers that don't own any gear, and they're like, ooh, that's reasonable to be able to gather data.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but I think that's going to be the nicest one right there. Kind of something like that.
It's too bad it wasn't just a little bit wider to get that.
To get
I was
this,
gonna say,
right?
you could
Yeah.
do a 4-panel. You could probably do a 4-panel mosaic. You could probably do a 2-panel mosaic, and that
Yeah, you
Oh,
can do a
it's still
2
captured.
probably. If I do a
2 or
2,
I was gonna say do it.
2. Yeah, 2 is nice.
I'm working on it
Or possibly a
Yeah,
4.
like that.
So yeah, you can
Like
do
that.
a 2x2 panel
Yeah.
mosaic.
Oh yeah, look at that. Yeah,
Yeah,
there you
that'd be
go.
Awesome.
That's awesome right there. Yep. That's freaking awesome.
Like that. Now, just remember, it's now 4 pictures.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, no.
So
It's going to be a lot of.
data.
I mean, yeah, it's 4 times the data that we would get. Even
More money.
You're still in a 1x2.
That- yeah, I was trying to do a 2x1. And that wouldn't even work either.
No.
That's a super bright target.
Why did that change?
What scope are you using?
Yeah, it changed the.
I
scope
should be on
of the-
T16, but
Not
something
sure why.
changed.
Refresh the tab.
Yeah, refresh your tab. Huh?
Yeah, it's still stuck on T24. Why? I want T16. Where is it? There it is.
Yeah, it's not refreshing. It's not
There
switching
you go.
over.
T16.
There you go.
Now it just switched.
Now it's
I'm not
switched.
sure why it's being funny. But if I do...
Yeah, that nebula is just enormous. I mean,
Yeah,
you could do a
you
6-panel on that easily.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, if you
and
want to
that's-
spend $4,000, I mean, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I know.
Well,
yeah, I know.
So I mean, the other thing is, like, I know Simon has shot that more wide field.
Yeah, what if you
You
use
know.
the 135? If you
The
even
135.
can.
That would be a blip, but
Yeah, it'd probably be too small.
no, you'd need to be in like the 600 to 800 millimeter focal length range.
I'm wondering...
Yeah,
I mean, I might be able to find one.
That sounds like Rasa to me.
Yeah, because you have to go 1 by 1 with the Rokinan. And it'll be 2. It'll be too much. It'll be too small.
Yeah, you need to be probably close to that 600 millimeter focal length to get it sized in correctly.
See, that's the 135.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you'll get it. You'll get it all.
You need like a red cat. You need like a red cat.
Yeah,
like
you'll
250.
probably like a 250, 250 or something like that.
I would say no bigger than an 80 millimeter.
Yeah.
I mean,
Could be a good Rasa target. You know,
Oh, yeah.
I know. Hyperstar.
Yep, it would be.
that might work.
Yep.
That's a
What
400
does,
millimeter, and where is this? This got to be in New Mexico somewhere. This is in New Mexico.
Oh wow!
Another Takahashi.
Yeah.
A little
means I
wider
probably
field
get
of
some.
view.
If they're getting that from New Mexico, then I should be able to get that.
Yeah, yeah. But again, yeah, I think you're going to be at. I think this is also. I mean, I don't have the schedule in front of me, but I'm thinking it's like it's going to be tough to get because it's going to be limited amount of times to get
Yeah.
it before it
Well,
goes
yeah, it
goes
doesn't
to the
show what
schmutz.
the elevation is.
Yeah.
'Cause I was looking at the data to see what the elevation chart was on it.
Yeah, Nick Scott, just an
change.
FYI, a Rasa,
Yeah.
you barely get it all with a Rasa.
What's the focal length on that? That's your. Is
A
that
Rasa-
an
The
11
Ross
inch
is
Rasa?
400.
The Rasa's 400. You barely
Yeah,
get it all.
yeah, 400 might
is
be a
that the
little
8?
too much.
That's the 8.
But yeah, it's the 8. That's the 8.
Yeah, the
8
Rasa
inch
8,
Rasa.
yeah. Yep.
Yep.
You barely get
At
that.
F2, it's 400.
What was that NGC number again?
3372.
So even with the Hyperstar on the 14, I'd still be doing a 4-panel.
Oh,
I'd say,
yeah,
'cause
you'll-
I'm at
yeah, it would-
715.
Well,
You'll be doing
you're not doing anything from New York. not with that.
No, but you guys. I know Dan. I talked to Dan about this, but you the rest of you guys, you don't you aren't clued in yet. There's a very good possibility that I'm going to be moving. So
Heading south?
as soon as Florida. Yep. Yep. North Central Florida. The Homosassa area, Crystal Springs, area. Basically, it's about an hour north of Tampa. But yeah,
Oh, wow.
and so it's nothing's confirmed yet, but we're in the works and trying to get that done. And I've actually been scoping out some of the areas out there, and it's pretty amazing. The one area that we're looking at, it's a Portal 4, and seeing is 20.5. It's just amazing.
Right.
So
Okay.
Well, that's not see. That's sky quality meter, right? 20.5.
quality, sky quality.
Yeah.
Not seeing. What I say, seeing? I meant sky quality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
15.
That's okay. We knew what you meant. Just wanted
Quick
clarification for the viewers.
The New Mexico scope will not reach it. It never breaks the horizon for us.
Yeah.
Okay.
But,
All right. So yeah. So it probably is just on there because it's up there for like 2 minutes. So we're gonna have to go to Spain then, and if we want the whole thing, we'll have to do a 4-panel mosaic. However, with the data that we got from the tarantula in Chile in 6 hours, that was really good data. We could probably do LRGB 2460. It's still going to be like 30 hours worth of data. So even if we go 1 hour each per frame, that's 4, 8, 12, 16 hours.
Dan, just out of curiosity, would you consider using T10?
Let me see. Let me get back on there. Which one is T10?
It's the 130 Takahashi. The 130 Takahashi.
Maybe that's one I haven't checked out yet. So let me see. What's the focal length on that?
762.
Okay.
And T9. These are both in Australia. T9 is
Okay.
a 120 is a 120 f3 Teleview Petzval, and that's
Okay.
a 680, and that's a 680. So just something to think about.
Let's see. Telescope.
I mean, if you want, I can share my screen here real quick.
I'm just looking to see. And NGC, what is it, 3372, right?
3372. Yep.
And you were looking at T what?
I was looking at T10.
T10, 130. Oh, that might work. T10 would work. You get the keyhole. That might work. What was the other one you were looking at?
And T9.
T10 will work. T9.
And T9 or T10.
T9's a 120, right? I think I like the T10 better. I'm not all into that square sensor.
Sure.
That's just me.
But that would frame it nicely. That could frame it nicely.
T10's in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
What was the focal length on that?
762.
762.
It's got everything, including narrowband. So if we wanted to grab some HA data, we could.
There you
Go ahead
go.
and pull up your Telescopius.
Yeah. Let me throw it to the side real quick.
Florida is a further southern latitude than you, isn't it, Jason? Is it further south?
Yes, but not terribly. I mean,
A lot.
It is further south, but not by much.
Unless
Not
you
enough
get
to
down
really
on,
make
like,
an elevation
Keys.
change.
And okay, so
the Keys.
Huh?
I got
have to be well
it up right now.
Yep.
You're up.
All right, so here's T10. This is the one with the square sensor.
Mm-hmm.
It almost fits everything.
It would frame it nicely.
It would. And T9 is here. Did it again. You know, I don't think that it likes me tonight. It was T9. There we go.
Look at that. They're advertising the rainbow mount.
There,
Told ya.
and there's T9.
Yeah.
And there's T9.
That T9 look awesome.
Yeah, I like the T9 better. So again, that's a T. Why does it say T20?
I don't know, but it's T9.
Now it says T. There's something wrong with this website tonight.
Yeah, something.
That's definitely T9. That's what T9 looks like, but I don't know why it's saying T20.
I'm not sure. But T9 would be a good bet. You would frame it in really nice.
Exact. Let's see if it's because. Let me go back over here. T. Yeah, something's definitely not working with this website tonight.
Here. If you want, I can share it.
Go ahead.
I
Eric,
actually
you're up.
just got it.
There you go. There's T9, if you guys can see it.
Yep, you're up.
Hold on, I got to go back. Hold on.
Sure. So this would frame it very nicely. It is a square sensor, but this is...
Yeah, I got it.
And this is 680 millimeters. And this is with a 4-element. This is a Fetzval, 8 Papo. And they also had a Takahashi here.
And where is that? I can't see it on the screen.
It's T8.
All right.
And so either T8, T9, or T10. And this is a 4-inch Takahashi F5. And this is at 530 millimeter focal length.
And can you show me T9 again? I'm sorry.
Yeah, sure. No problem. And here is, go back to T9. There's T9 right there.
Oh, that's it. No, not the the framing. All right, so T9's a square as well?
T9 square as well. Looks like it's square as well.
Okay, so it looks like the other one that I had, T20, I'm not sure if that was a more rectangular one, I think it was. But I don't know where that was.
Sure.
That was the one I hit by accident.
T20 was actually is in the U.S.
Yeah, forget it. Okay. All right, so any one of them, they'll all work out.
So I give you one of them. 8, 9, or 10 would work.
Okay.
So and there's T8 right there, which is it's also a 4-element. And
I
this is
kind of
also,
like T8 better. You see more.
Mm-hmm. And if I bring up the specs, here it is. This is using an FLI Microline 16803. This does
Yeah.
have all narrowband as well as LRGB.
Okay. Okay.
Using Astrodon Series 2, so not cheap. Not cheap filter.
Nope.
They're using some
Nope.
quality filters, quality optics. So,
All right. So
big pixels. Big pixels. 9.
nice. All right. So that'll work out. So
Yeah.
so that being said, everybody start. You know, if you guys want to practice data on it, I'm going to work on again getting some more. Am I still on? I'm still on the thing, aren't I?
Yeah, you are.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, you're still sharing.
Yeah.
You're still.
Yeah. And we'll do that. There we go. And so now, I guess now's a good time to say we'll start collecting for donations. If anybody wants to play with that data, we'll send it out there again. And all the donations will obviously go to the all of data acquisition. So what the cost is. We do have a good deal with iTelescope, and it looks like it's going to be a great deal. I'm just waiting on confirmation from Dr. Sass over at iTelescope, and we're good. But we already have a really good deal to get this data. So feel free. I'm going to get prizes again. I'll get maybe Tyler could get another 100 from Explore. I'll get another 100 from Camera Concepts, and maybe Masters of PixInsight will also donate as well. And that's actually a good segue for you guys that don't know and girls that don't know about Masters of PixInsight and IP for AP. They are merging their web resource into one resource. So, yeah, so it's all going to be under the umbrella of Masters of PixInsight. IP for AP will be moving. And some good news, and I don't know if you guys know this or not. I know we spoke about it before, but it looks like Pete Poole, who is, I guess, the main director and one of the guys in charge of IP for AP, is going to be coming on the show in July to talk about it.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, so I'm just waiting to get final word on a date from him. We spoke about it. He went on vacation, but he's going to be on the show probably in July, if not August. And we'll have him on to kind of hang out with us and talk astrophotography.
Yeah, Pete's awesome.
What will that do to our accounts? I have no idea what you're talking about, Mark, but okay.
As far as Pix, Masters of PixInsight or IP for AP, like with them merging, what would that do to the accounts? Who knows?
Oh, to the accounts, yeah. So you're going to receive an email from Pete before they merge with new login information. If you're already a paying subscriber like I am, you will be receiving an email. So you should have received one already if you are a subscriber to IP for AP. If you haven't, let me know privately, and I'll tell Pete to reach out to you. And it will all be merged. You will all be you'll have access to both all the Masters of PixInsight data. That if you've already purchased classes, you will still have access to all of that. And if you're an IP for AP subscriber, you'll still have access to all of the material that you've already purchased anyway. So it should seem pretty seamless. Of course, there are going to be probably bumps in the road, but if you need more information, I'll tell Pete to contact you if you need it. So that's it.
Yeah.
So that's some good information.
IP for AP is a really good resource. It has been. I've used it personally myself. I haven't. I may even reconsider renewing my subscription. But it's a good resource. And in the Master of PixInsight, those classes have been awesome. So
Yeah,
Well,
I
and
mean,
they just
and-
did Cosmic Correction, a week and a half ago now? and they're getting ready for Cosmic Correction 2 next month.
The Cosmic, it's not Cosmic Correction, but I don't know what
Cosmic
you're
Canvas.
going. Yeah, so
Canvas.
Cosmic Canvas, yeah. So Ron actually just put out an email, I guess today or yesterday, regarding the data set that it's his turn now because Warren did the first round of Cosmic Canvas, and he actually went through his workflow with a project, and he went over it in 2 hours. Now, I unfortunately missed that. That's the first one I've ever missed. Sorry, Warren, but that's the first one I ever missed, and I'll be watching it this week. But Ron actually just sent out his data set to whoever purchased anything, and said, "This is what I'm going to be doing," and I think that's July 20th, but don't quote me on that.
Sounds about right, yeah.
I think it's July 20th. So that's going to be fun.
Yeah,
that's going to be fun. I can't wait to see what they're going to do next because they've gone through so much stuff as it is. I think this is going to be their 10th one. I could be wrong, but it's pretty close if they're not over it already. And and for $35, you get 2 hours with some of the greats in Pix Insight. So,
and it is July 20th.
It is. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's a Tuesday, isn't it?
Yeah, they're always on Tuesday nights. Unless
Tuesdays,
there's a power outage or something that limits them from doing it. They did bump one of their things to, I think it was a Friday, because there was a
but I think that was the European.
Oh, okay.
One. That was. I don't think they bumped any of the U.S. ones because I don't even remember being bumped at all. I could be wrong. Maybe I missed 2. I don't think I did, but yeah. So I'm pretty sure that they bumped the European one because they do 2 versions of the show. They do one for British Standard Time for Europe, and they do one for Eastern Standard Time for the U.S. So.
That would be cool.
George Lux said, "Haha, you will be assimilated." and assimilation is not a joking matter. Look at what happened to Captain Picard. That guy was a mess for like an entire season.
Resistance is futile.
Resistance is futile. Number 1. But next thing we got on the docket is my favorite unofficial, unsanctioned, unpromoted Cherry Springs Star Party, AstroWorld #1.
Way to commit, soldier.
Yeah. But we're gonna be doing it, and it's looking like it's gonna be the first weekend in September. It's gonna be the new moon in September, which just happens to be the first weekend of September. And you can see all of our social media right underneath me. So if you ever want to get in contact with any of us, you're more than welcome to, and you can ask us any questions you want. So. There's the website and all of our email down there as well. So we're gonna be going to actually. I don't know about the rest of the guys. I know we're gonna try and get as many of us. I know Jason, it's a hell of a trip. I know Eric, it's a little closer, but it's still a hell of a trip. But anybody's more than welcome to come. I plan on going. Probably it's going to be the first weekend in September, which is Labor Day weekend. But it is the normal Black Forest Star Party weekend. Black Forest Star Party is still on, so don't confuse it. They're just doing it in October as opposed to September this year for whatever godforsaken reason, because it's going to be like 12 degrees in October. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be bad. I mean, it gets down to the high 20s in September, so I don't even want to be there near October. So it's crazy. And George, how dare you combine Star Trek and Star Wars? They should never be intertwined like that, except in an Uber Eats commercial. That's the only reason why that those things should be intertwined. You should never say, Picard, I am your father.
That's what I was telling you. That's blasphemy.
Oh, okay. Oh, there it is. I'm watching the YouTube live, so I'm a little behind. So sorry. But yeah, those two things are kind of like it's like Elvis and the Beatles.
Yeah. I mean, it's like bad enough with the Google Eats commercial. Remember, the Google Eats commercial?
Those were hilarious. Those were hilarious. I mean,
those are fun, but that's as far as we're gonna go.
Would you like a little cheese with that wine?
I got one for you guys here. Here's an interesting one. I don't know if I can I share my screen? Let's see if I can share my screen. Can I do this? Let's see. Allow. There we go. Now, am I doing something wrong here?
No,
I see. Hold on, I see the 3.
You can see the moon, right? You see the moon?
Yep.
Yeah, the moon.
Okay, there's Nathan. Yeah. So here's what most people think of when they think astronomers, right? So that's what most people say. Oh, okay, we're gonna go out in the field and have fun, right? This is us actually right here. This is us.
Oh, good Lord.
What is that?
You're welcome.
Is this
I saw that.
Star Trek or something?
Yeah, that just came out. I saw that.
I'm sorry, but I saw that. I had to share that. That's freaking awesome.
I'm sorry, but you know what would be funnier? You know what would be now any Star Trek fan will get this because I'm a big Star Trek fan. I'm more of a Star Trek fan than a Star Wars fan. I gotta admit. But if go back to that picture. Go back to that picture with the band.
Screen share again, I think.
See, whoever made this picture should have had Spock with the Vulcan lute instead of a guitar.
Instead of a guitar?
That's what it should have been.
That'd be awesome.
The Vulcan lute should have been in there. And in all fairness, her should have been up front because she's going to be the one singing.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. She's on vocals. Uhura's on vocals, so I know why she's.
She should be a back. And you know what? And there's no way that McCoy plays the guitar. He should have been playing like a flute or something stupid. Yeah. Because he's definitely not a musician. But I mean, it's
Scotty's on the synthesizer, and you got McCoy on the bass.
Chekhov's on vocals. Can you imagine that crazy Russian accent on vocals?
No.
And of course,
with auto-tune, anything's possible.
That's freaking awesome.
I've lived a wife that's full.
Yeah, I mean,
but you know what the scary thing is first of all, Scotty shouldn't be on the synthesizer. Why shouldn't Scotty be on the synthesizer? Little known fact. What was that?
It's not enough to lithium crystals, Captain. It's gonna blow.
No, I thought he was missing something, and I thought you were actually going to tell me something that I was shocked that you knew. But Scotty only has 9 fingers. He's missing his finger. He's missing this one. He's missing this finger. He got it blown off during the war, World War II. Got it blown off, and what? And you see it in one episode only. And that's the trouble with tribbles. And he comes in carrying all these tribbles to Captain, and you see him, his hands out like this, carrying the tribbles, and you can see he's missing a finger. That's the only thing you see in it. But that's a little Star Trek trivia for you.
A little Star
Trek half sci-fi tangent.
There's a sci-fi tangent right there.
Yeah.
Yep. He's missing a
finger. At any rate.
And it might have been Korea. It might not have been World War II. I could be wrong about that. It might have been Korea. But it definitely got blown off in the war. He was a war hero, that guy. That guy was crazy.
Right.
But yeah. So Cherry Springs, first week of September, first weekend. And again, it's going to be a moving target. So depending on the weather, that's when I'll be going. Because that whole area is going to be either new moon or so close to it, it's not going to matter. Right. So that's what it's going to look like. So if you want to go, come hang out. I'll have a banner up, and no one will see me. So there you go.
Should be fun. I'll talk.
So I'll be the only one there.
Yeah, you could be. You might be.
I could very well be the only one there. Actually,
I know I won't make it because I'll be actually on a job in Atlanta that week.
Okay. Yeah, you can just drive up. It's only about 14 hours from Atlanta.
Yeah, the problem is by the time I get there, I'd be late to work the next day because I only get 5 hours off.
You don't need work. It's okay.
I really
Work's
do.
overrated.
Late 2 days in a row.
It's been 18 months, and the finances are a little thin.
I hear you. You got to rebuild.
Yeah. You know,
Was that build back better?
Taking
please.
Almost a very heavy six-figure hit in my income was very painful.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
I am sure.
That's why
looks
we're
like
looking at
Tyler
Florida.
called me nerds. It's calling us nerds, guys.
Yeah. New
We've
gear.
been called worse. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I got picked on for being called a lot worse in school.
Oh,
God, yeah.
definitely a lot worse.
Don't even let me go there.
And then I got big and
remember
they stopped picking on me.
I never got big. I was like 128 pounds. I wore like a size 30 pants, maybe 29, and I never got big. I was the one that got like stuffed in the closets and stuff. But
I think I graduated high school at about 98 pounds, 5'8",
nice.
and like a size 28 pant.
That's I wasn't that thin, but I was right behind you. I was right behind you.
But I was also biking like crazy, so I actually worked out a lot back then.
Yeah,
Now I'm in shape, but
I worked out. Yeah, I worked out just as much as I work out now.
Yeah, well, I was 6'6" in ninth grade.
doing glass curls.
This was the only curl I was doing in high school, and it hasn't changed.
By the time I was a sophomore, I was doing video and working on the sidelines of the sports and outrunning most of the receivers on the football team carrying a Betacam with 2 battery packs and extra tape. I'm lugging 80 pounds down the sideline, and I'm outrunning the receiver.
That's crazy.
Backwards.
Unfortunately, you didn't have a gimbal to keep the cam steady, and you got nothing.
No. Well, I was more trying to get to the end zone to get him coming in so that we could get the highlight. Because I only needed 5 seconds of video to see him come into the end zone, and I saw he had a clean break, so I'm trying to book it to get ahead of him to watch him come the last 10 yards into the end zone for the highlight reel for the year.
Nice.
That's cool. That's cool.
So you roll record, run like hell, and hope you get it.
Yep, that's it.
Wow. That's cool. That's cool. All right, so we got... What was that?
On the hunt
for gear? More gear, yeah. Good luck with that.
Are you going to a museum? Are you going to get stuff that's been retired? Because new stuff's non-existent.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
There is some stuff, but I was looking for some looking for a refractor, wide angle, similar wide angle. ASCAR, I was looking at that FMA 180.
The 180, yeah. Yep.
That's they've got those in stock right now. So it's basically like almost like the equivalent of the close to the equivalent of the Red Cat, So you've got.
Well, it's shorter.
It's shorter.
It's quite shorter.
It's shorter. It's like
it's about 70 millimeters shorter than.
It's like, it's not too far off. I mean, you got 180 versus 250. So
250.
Still in that ballpark.
Yeah,
still in that ballpark. And ASCAR also they have the FMA 135, which is I guess trying to battle the Rokin.
That's absolutely what they're trying to do.
Yeah, so they're trying to battle with the Rokin, but but the good thing with that is that versus the Rokin, you have almost. I'd use a Rokin, you have very little chromatic aberration, if any. I mean, that is a solid lens But you pretty much are with the ASCAR. I mean, I think it's a 4 element. It may be a
It
The
is.
triple.
ASCAR is a 5.
No,
The
yeah,
ASCAR's a
because it's
5,
got
135.
Oh, the 135 is all 4.
no. The 135 and the 180 are fours. The 61s,
The 400
the
and 600 are
400, they're
5s.
quins.
Yeah,
they're
the
quins.
400 and 600s are quints, but the
Yeah.
FMAs are 4 element or petrels. So they're going to give you a great flat feel. I mean, that's the one thing with the Rokinon. I mean, it looks, even with that, I mean, you've seen my shots with the Rokinon. I mean, that looks like a pretty darn flat feel.
Yeah, it's not bad.
You
It's
know.
not bad.
So it's not bad.
It's very well corrected. So
It is. But
Actually,
the cool
did
thing
you
about that 180 and that 135 is that you can use it as a as a true apo for imaging, and if you don't want, but you can also move it off and you can use it as a guide scope because it's small. Because they're so small, you can use them as guide scopes.
Sure.
Or
Why not?
or for visual. So, and they're not that they're not that badly priced either. And
No,
they're
actually, most
profit.
sharps, yeah, most sharp stars. I mean, I was holding a 61
Did you
sharp
guys,
star today.
did you see that they just came out with the ACL 200?
Yes,
It looks
I did see they came up with
strikingly
200.
Yeah.
like a red cat.
Like a
A
135.
little bit, just a little bit.
Yeah.
Looks like one of my
yeah,
camera
but-
lenses.
Well, it essentially they are camera lenses. They're built for
Yep.
attaching to the DSLRs, and they directly adapt for the Astro cameras.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So-
they're definitely doing something to compete
Yeah,
with the
F4 to
Red
22.
Cat.
Yeah.
You know, they're going the Red Cat Raptor, and then the Ascar. Everything's going to be kind of like that. Although it's not
135.
it's like it's in the same ballpark as the Red Cat. Red Cat's got 50mm more reach, but other than that, I think that's definitely just their response to the Red Cat, just like everybody else is jumping on that bandwagon.
Well, I mean, bringing stuff out is great. It's more about manufacturing and the ability to get the stuff to it. It's the companies that are going to be able to get product to people that are going to win. I mean, the backlog on Celestron stuff is stupid. I mean, I literally had a guy that was willing to pay a small fortune to have the CGXL shipped to him. It was almost $600 to have that sucker shipped to him.
So that 135 is a sextuplet.
Oh,
It's a
wow.
what?
A
Six.
sextuplet, a 6-element airspace triplet, including ED. Sextuplet refractor for APS imaging is a wow.
Holy
Yeah,
cow.
that's like my Nikon lenses. It's like my Nikon lenses. Some
Now
of my
that is
Nikon
on
lenses
back
are
order.
9-element.
I was over at Agena. That's on back order until like maybe September, October.
Yeah.
And that's the
That's the
135.
That was the
Yeah, for the
135. This is the 180.
Yep.
Did you
Is
say
it
it's a
me or does that
sextuplet
180?
triplet?
That's what it said.
That doesn't make any sense.
I agree with that statement.
How is it a sextuplet triplet?
They're saying the same thing here. Refractor for full frame with reducer. So if you put the reducer, it's another triplet. The reducer is 3-element.
There it is.
Gotcha.
Okay. Okay.
So it's a
Gotcha.
triplet,
Okay.
ED-spaced APO. And
Gotcha.
then if you add
Gotcha.
the reducer, it makes it a sextuplet.
It makes it a
Gotcha.
Yeah. Got it.
So they're doing the same
Okay.
thing with either of them.
So the lens native is a 3-element, and then you add another
Yes.
3 elements with the reducer.
Producer. Yep.
Got it.
Exactly.
All right, so that makes sense.
And I know
How many
everybody
more
missed
pieces
it.
you gonna put in there?
The
They've got a few out there.
well,
If
in
you,
the Amazon Prime days, they had the Rokinon. Was it the 135 and the 85 were on Prime Day?
oh
Like
wow,
150, 200 off.
wow.
In the 85,
what-
Mark Ellis bought, and we actually found out that it's an actual autofocus lens. So
Huh.
it has an AF servo in it.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's my question is what is the difference between these lenses and just a regular prime Nikon or Canon lens with an
Cost.
adapter for like a cool camera? Is that the only difference? Is cost? That's it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, these are coming in
More
cheaper
glass,
than a
isn't there?
Nikkor lens. No, because like the Nikkors are usually 6 to 8 element,
Okay.
depending
At
on the
least.
glass and what
Yeah.
f range you're in.
Yep.
Like with the f1.4s, they're typically a 5 to 7 element for the
Depending,
ED
yeah.
glass for the Nikkors.
Yep.
Okay.
With the Rokinons and stuff like that, they're typically 3 to 5 element, which is how they'll save weight. But because they'll use the corrective elements, they usually get a fairly flat field. It's not perfect, but it's going to be optically close.
Okay.
Gotcha.
And then if you go into the Samyangs and some of the other offshoots, they're usually about the same price, but they're usually the ones that don't quite pass for the upper grade, so they'll go to those offshoot. So like the Samyangs are an offshoot of the Rokinons.
Right.
So-
They're all in the same family.
They're in the
Yeah,
same
they're all by the-
family, but the Samyangs are typically the ones that didn't quite pass the optical quality for the Rokinon.
Right.
So they get
And
passed
the
off into
Bowers
that
are
tier.
the ones that and the Bowers
Yep.
are like a little bit lower than that. It's like Bauer, and then it's Samyang, and then it's Rokinon at the top.
Well,
Yeah.
essentially for computer guys, it's i7, i5, i3.
Basically. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So everything starts out as an i7 chip or now i9 chip, and then as it has fail points, they degrade it to lower, depending on what its performance metric is.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so that's what I've been investigating those for the past couple of days with the ASCAR refractors. And, because I sold off of my other refractors and I've learned a valuable lesson. When you're traveling, it's probably a good idea to hold on to your smaller refractors. But
And that's where the Ascot 400, the 61 EDP8, all that stuff comes in nice and handy. And
Well-
Yes.
even the red plats. I mean,
Well, Dan and Tyler know because I've been talking to them about it. But I went to go shoot Roy Ofici the other day on the last new moon sequence, and I did it with my D850, and I wasn't happy with the color because the IR cut filter that's on the sensor.
Mm-hmm.
So the color, I
Yep.
just couldn't make the colors pop, so I just
Yeah.
scrapped it.
Yep.
But that really lit a fire under me to go, well, why don't I just take and get the adapters to put my cooled camera, like my 2600, onto my Nikkor glass, which is exceptional glass, very flat field. All of
Yep.
my stuff are 2.8 or better.
Yep.
I've got one f4 that's a kit lens, only because it's a good walking lens. But I can put my 50mm 1.4 onto my 2600, but I still want to be able to take and do like an L Pro or an L Extreme, depending on my environment, to do a really nice wide field tracked a sky image. So working with Dan, I actually pulled the trigger today on the ZWO Nikon filter drawer adapter,
Yep.
Okay.
so that I can take and put my 2-inch filters into that and be able to mount it so that I can. Yeah, and Tyler sent me the standard adapter ring. The problem
Okay.
I had is I don't want to sit there and thread the thing on with fingerprints on it and then have to clean it in the field, and so for me, that's how I'm gonna do travel with my the Skyguider Pro.
yeah.
Yeah, because what I did with mine, I actually in New Mexico, I didn't even use filter. In those skies, I didn't. With B2 skies, I didn't even have to.
Yeah.
Because initially I did start out because I brought my little. I was using my 294 one-shot color. I didn't bring the mono, or I was using the one-shot color, and I did just in case. I brought my the 1 1/4 adapter that comes with all of the ZWO cameras. and I have some 1 1/4 luminance, light suppression filters, but I didn't need them. But yeah, I would go the same route with what you were saying, Jason, and that's what exactly I did. I ended up buying a Canon ZWO adapter, and I use that with my Rokinon, and I love it. It's great, but like I said, I think I still need to get a refractor. I still need it. So
Well, and the thing is, honestly, for the price point, those FRA 400s are just about as good as you're going to get. You get the reducer with the kit. You have to order it separately, but it's more reasonable when you order the kit.
yep,
They are by far the most fun lens that I've got for being portable. I mean, I loved my Red Cat or my Space Cat that I had. It was a phenomenal product, but when I went to the quintuplet, it was a game changer.
yeah,
I'm sure.
Being able to shoot 400 millimeter native and then put the reducer in, still keep that flat field, go to a f3.5 with the reducer in there, and go down to 280 millimeter.
yep.
I mean, that's a solid object, even without a go-to. That gives you very quick acquisition because you're already at half of most telescopes, which are usually going to be an f7, f8, f11,
Yep.
depending on the type of
Yep.
refractor.
Yeah,
You can get some of them down at the 5.5, 6.5 range, but
yeah.
So,
and you
Jason,
pair those
what-
with like a small tracking mount, travel mount, like a Skywatcher, something like that, you're good to go. You can
well,
track it
like
all
the
up in
CEM 25s, even like the EQ 35 would be a good lightweight
Yep.
travel unit. The AVXs to me are still too sticky. You're better off getting like the CM 25s or the Skywatcher was it EQ 35?
35.
EQM.
my AVX, because only reason I still have my AVX is because it was hypertuned. I
Yeah.
sent it off to Deep
Yeah.
Space Products, and I had it hypertuned. And they replaced the bearing, they replaced all that stock sticky, grease, and that's the only reason I've kept it these years.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
I don't blame you. As long as the funny things with the AVX, and it's really depending on which one you get and how long it's been sitting in a warehouse for. And this is not only with AVX Celestron. This is with
No.
any sort of equatorial mount, and depending on what kind of grease they kind of throw in there. You should always do what's called the swing test. And I don't know if a lot of people don't know about this. Your gears should move freely with the clutch released. It should move with very little to no tension across there. So when you do this without the scope on, please.
And no weights.
But put a weight.
preferably.
No weights.
What's that?
You don't even need
And
weights.
no weights.
No
Don't
weights.
even use your no weights. No.
Just use it. Just use your bar.
The bar.
Just use the bar, and lift it to the side all the way, pointing west or east or whatever you want to call it, and drop it. And if it just goes one and stops, that means you have way too much tension in your gears, and you're going to put way undue stress on your gears, and they will go a lot quicker. It should really go. And next week what I'll do is I'll take out my Atlas that I just had hypertuned, and I'll drop it, and you'll see it. It's like a pendulum. It goes like this for about 3 or 4 times.
With
And
my
it starts getting
AVX,
slow.
I could hold it, drop it, and it wouldn't go, but like,
It was, yeah. It was,
Well, that's a huge problem.
I called it the German mount. Anything I put on a thing, it was going to go, ugh. It wasn't going to move.
That's
I
awesome.
didn't have to worry about balancing the damn thing. You just put it up there, and it just tracked, and it stayed meh. I could get two, maybe 3 minutes, and then it'd go.
Yep. That's
As the
not
gear
good.
would finally slip, and the grease would slide.
And next thing you hear, swimwear. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So,
don't know what kind of grease they use, over in China, when they put these things
They
together.
probably just throw in some really
Cheapest stuff they can find.
Yeah.
The stuff they can find. It is, and it's deplorable because you've got to then spend your hard-earned time and money to try to, you just spent $800 to $1,000 on just because you want to get started. You just want to get started.
Yep.
That's why you buy a CEM25 or an AVX. You're just getting started. And then all of a sudden, because everybody talks about, and it's true, the mount is the heart of your rig. It's the heart of your entire setup. And
Absolutely.
when you spend $1,000 on a mount, just to your point, that sucker should be swinging like a pendulum. And it doesn't. It just you bring that counterweight bar up. If you drop and if you just let it go, and if it just goes barely an inch,
that's a problem.
It's just like, why? Why did I spend this kind of money?
Well, and that was my thing.
Go ahead.
I bought it cheap enough that I'm like, all right, well, maybe I'll hypertune it. I'm like, well, by the time I spend the money to hypertune, I can just get a better mount. So I swapped up to the CEM40.
You're spending $400 to hypertune it, right?
Yep.
You're spending, because nobody's going to pay for the shipping on it, so you're spending $150 in shipping both ways.
Yep.
So now you're spending $550 just to fix a mount that you just spent $1,000 on.
Yep.
so now you're at $1,600 for a properly working mount just to start.
I was the third owner of my unit.
Okay.
And I know everybody that owned it. I actually bought mine from Mark, and it wasn't anything that Mark did. It was the nature of the mount, and it was fine. He upgraded the EQ6, and I wanted to get into a go-to mount. He gave me a good deal. I ran it for a year and said, this is ridiculous. So I looked into hypertuning, and I'm like, I could sell this thing, get somebody that wants it, and I'll move into the 40. And I got a deal on the 40 on a holiday deal. Never looked back.
Yep. Well, it looks like my EQ8R may be in by Labor Day. So
next year?
You see?
No. September. A couple of months.
I tell you, when I sold my CGX, so you guys remember all my issues I had with the RA with my CGX, and I figured it out. Thanks to Dylan O'Donnell, he even posted some information on loosening up some of the RA, and it worked and it did fine. But I still decided I just had enough with it, so I decided to sell it. And then when I got the CEM60 and I put it on the pier and I just set it up and I just did that and I just did the swing test, I about cried. Because it was so freaking. I was like, I about cried because it was just swinging like it's supposed, like a mount is supposed to, It was like, this is what I've been waiting for.
And just so we're clear, those are tears of joy, right?
Yeah, it wasn't remorse.
Yeah, this is not a problem. This is tears of happiness. This is
tears of happiness. Because after going through two, and I'm not knocking Celestron because they make great scopes. I love my Rasa. I haven't had a chance to use the 8 yet, but I'm going to use the Edge 8, and I love my 8SC. My 8SC is a great intro, scope. Everybody.
The 8 or the 9 1/4?
I got the 8.
Okay.
He's waiting on a 9 1/4.
Oh, I was going to say, I thought he ordered a 9 1/4.
I'm using the 8 as a stopgap. I'm using the 8 as a stopgap until I get, the 9 1/4. But, so they make great optics and make great scopes, but they stink at making mounts, man. They just, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. They absolutely stink. I don't know why.
Yeah, that's why I'll never buy it. The first and last Celestron I bought was a CG5, and that's I think, yeah, it was CG5. That's the last thing I would have done. That's it. I was done.
Yeah. Why do you think I was so happy to unload that CGXL?
Well, not to mention the fact you're trying to put 85 pounds on a 75-pound mount. I mean,
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I mean, all everything that you guys are talking about as far as like swing test and clutch release and this and that, none of it applies to harmonic drive mounts.
You're in a completely different league, my friend.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you are totally. Yeah, you don't. Yeah, you don't count anymore.
you use counterweights. I mean,
But no, he's got counterweights.
I
Because
did,
he can't
but
weight on the
when
thing,
you
he
got-
can't really
when
drive
you
without
got
it.
80
Yeah, that's the only
pounds
reason.
when you got 80 pounds of telescope and all you need, and I got this from the guy that designed the mount, okay, and built the mount in Korea. I've got his email. He wrote back to me. He said all you need is 10 pounds of weight for 110 pounds. All you need is a 10 or a 15-pound weight. That's all you need. That's insane.
Again, that's not even because of the gears. That's so you don't flip the mount.
Yeah,
Exactly.
pretty much.
But
It's just insane.
yeah, it's an
insane.
amazing piece of technology. Harmonic drives, if you could afford. Go ahead.
I'm just saying. I just hope in the next 5 to 6 years, I'm still here, God willing, and the prices and they start getting really competitive with the harmonic drive
for
mounts.
harmonic
When
drives?
it starts,
Yeah.
when it really it starts catching fire. And
Well,
people
I think what you're going to start seeing, Eric, and maybe not so much Rainbow, because Rainbow doesn't have a really good PR department or marketing department, and it's unfortunate
Well,
because
South
they have a
Korea.
superior. Oh yeah, that's great. I'm not going to the South Korea, Taiwan, and I'm not going to go live there.
Right.
But,
That's the problem. It's all in South Korea.
But there are places like, well, let's take a look at Pegasus Astro. Everybody knows Pegasus Astro. They're all the way the hell in dilapidated Greece. I mean, so there are places in other countries, but I think what you're going to see is companies like Avalon.
Mhm.
I think you're going to see companies like Hobum, if they ever get this S together. I think you're going to see them a lot more because these are the mounts that you hear about. If you go to anybody that like is starting to do any sort of research on it, to me, and the people that I speak to, you go to Rainbow and said, yeah, I know them, but I don't know anybody that has them. And they say, what about Avalon or Hobum? Oh yeah, my friend's got one, blah blah blah, and it's great. And so I think that's where Rainbow is going to kind of lose out, and it's unfortunate because I think they have a really 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 great product. I just hope they can get their U.S. And Europe, for all that matters, marketing together. I really hope that they do because they really have good stuff.
But it was really nice to see them advertised on Telescopius. They were there.
Yeah.
Did you see them?
They were
They were
there.
there.
But that's also through Tolga Astro. So
Right.
it was Tolga Astro is an affiliate of Rainbow. So that's more Tolga putting out an ad. And so that really has nothing to do with Rainbow's marketing, and that's the whole thing.
No,
Rainbow needs to do their own internal marketing.
Yeah,
and get the
that's
word
just
out.
a reseller trying to move product because they've got a
Exactly.
stronghold in the market. That's
Exactly.
all it is. That's ad credits.
Yep, absolutely. And it's unfortunate because I think that they're going to be overtaken like ZWO just overtook the CMOS world. I think that even though that they have a superior product, I think that they're going to be overtaken by the people that do better getting the word out, and they don't do that. I mean, literally, if I met the people at Rainbow at NEAF 3 years ago, and I tried explaining to them, not explaining to them, but trying to get them into Camera Concepts as a reseller, and they were just very standoffish. And I hope that changed, but I don't know. We'll see.
Well, the thing with the the rainbow mounts and the Hobum mounts and things like that, you're talking about what in lenses and things is called a unicorn. I mean, that Sigma Art it's a very nice lens, but when you hold it up to something, like that, that's a unicorn. And most people aren't going to spend $6,000 on a lens unless you are a professional birder, a professional landscape photographer or such. So I think that's one of the big problems with some of these higher end mounts is that you have to be able to accurately demonstrate to a buyer the cost for value, so that they can make that switch. So they got that $8,000 over here and they've got their mount here, and they need to see enough value so that they'll make that switch.
Yeah,
that's what ultimately has to happen.
And please, I know you'll vouch for me on this. Perception is half the battle when it comes down to buying anything.
Sure.
Okay, so when I think, and all of us are on, we do astrophotography, we know our equipment, we all know this stuff. We do, and some of us are better at certain things than others, but we all know the basics of harmonic mounts. And when I hear a harmonic mount, off the top of my head, I would say, oh yeah, Rainbow Astro, but that's what it should be. Mm-hmm. When I say hamburger, what do you think? You think McDonald's. When I say sneaker, right, you think Nike.
There's only two manufacturers for harmonic drives for telescope mounts. There's Hobum and there's Rainbow Astro. Show me another one.
Avalon.
That's it.
There isn't one. There isn't one.
It's only Hobum and Rainbow.
They are the only two that are doing that.
Avalon has.
But see, that's my whole.
Like
Avalon has one.
Avalon does.
Avalon doesn't have a harmonic mount.
I don't think
I don't think so.
I don't think the M is a harmonic drive.
I'm gonna look that up.
Yeah, the other thing that you guys have
to, because that's why
Tom I thought it was too.
Yeah, that's why Tom got the M, because it was a harmonic.
It's not the M Uno. It's not the M0. It's the M Uno, I think.
Yeah.
But now, how much is that mount?
4,500.
See, the thing with the harmonic drive, is that they're really. I've done a lot of research. I didn't realize there was another company that was doing harmonic drives. I looked at a lot of different avenues to find. I could only find Hobum and Rainbow Astro. That's it. But the thing with Rainbow that a lot of people don't realize is that their mounts are just a very, very small niche part of their business. They do mostly industrial robotics. That's what most of their harmonic drives are for. It's for industrial robotics, and medical robotics and things like that. High precision. I mean, you look at some of their bigger harmonic drives. They got huge harmonic drives. They make the RST 300 look tiny. So I think that they're breaking into this more and more, and it's relatively new for them. I mean, they haven't had a big mount for more than 5 or 6 years. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that.
So
they're relatively new.
Right, but I'm just really hoping that within the next 5 years, because you've seen what happened with CMOS. With CMOS and with ZWO, it took the AP world by storm. And I mean, it was like a huge wave over the last 3-4 years, right? I'm hoping that harmonic drive mounts companies will embrace this technology and come to a point where, if there's more competition out there, more offerings out there that could drive costs down, because now you can get, readily, because the more competition that's out there, the less the price is going to drop when you get more competition out there. That's what I'm really hoping for in the next 5 years, because we already know what CMOS has done, versus CCD. Now I'm thinking maybe now we need to take that chance to take a look at the mounts which is supposed to be the heart of your entire setup. Let's start taking a look at the mounts and let's see about redesigning and moving a little further away from the gems. You know,
I hear what you're saying. I don't know if in manufacturing if they're actually going to be able to do that. I mean, it's kind of like that one lens that I just showed. I don't care how long how much competition. There's no way you're going to get a lens like that for less than $5,000. It's just you're never going to do it. You're never going to do it. And I think that harmonic drive.
I stand corrected. That there is only the Hobum and the Rainbow. I really thought that Avalon had one. I stand corrected. It is a high precision single fork that doesn't require many counterweights, if any. But I stand corrected. So my apologies to everybody. They are not harmonic. So
Eric, I would love to see competition drive price down on stuff like this. I really would. I'd love to see that.
That would be the thing, because eventually, maybe you can get to the point where something like a Rainbow of your caliber of mount, 8,000, where it can come down another 3,000. Another 3,000 for the most part could be a bit more reasonable for people.
Well, but if you look at the design of that mount, and then you put it up next to some of the cast designs that come out of like Celestron or some of the other companies, and you look at the design quality of it, the manufacturing on it, there's a reason why it's that much money. Though each one of those pieces that make that mount is milled out of a block of aluminum.
Yeah, but I think you're kind of comparing. But I think you're kind of comparing a Aston Martin to a Toyota. I think
that's exactly right. That's my point.
But in that point, I don't think that you're comparing apples to apples here, because
no, you're not.
This is a superior piece of technology. It's you can't compare that to a CGX. I mean, it's not it's not the same weight class.
Yeah,
I know.
Developing the competition to drive the price down. That's where it's.
Yeah, but I don't think it's going to go. In all fairness, I really don't think it's going to go for a 110-pound mount. I don't think that. I don't think that it's going to go way under $5,000. I really don't think so.
The only way that's going to go down is when they stop manufacturing the stuff in-house and go to contract, where it can get duplicated by foreign entities, which is what drove the price down on every single piece that we've seen, is because it went and got outsourced through mass production.
And it went to mass production, and that's...
And then, unfortunately, you got to make a good point, because when it goes to that point, then, QA goes down.
Well, it's not just the QA, because the people that they put it to then take and reverse engineer and break down what they're doing, because they're only given a part of the whole. They're never given the whole. They figure out how they break down the different parts. They take and do it at a lower cost, and they then produce it and undercut their client by 50 to 70%, so that they can drive. That's half of what Alibaba is. It's Chinese manufacturers that got something to take and build for another foreign company, and said, oh, well, we can take that, we'll change these two little things so that it's out of spec, and we'll now sell it for $1 instead of $10.
Right. Well, and that's also, Jason, that's also why I was really pleased to hear that this company, Rainbow Astro, was not Chinese. Because Chinese manufacturing, it's a complete crapshoot as to the quality of what you're going to get. When it comes to South Korea, on the other hand, you're going to be much more happy with the Q&A, the quality of what you're getting coming out of South Korea. Their manufacturing standards are just so much higher than what you're seeing in mainland China.
Yeah.
And I see we got our closer.
Wants to go to bed.
Yeah, I just got one.
Yeah, I see her there.
We're gonna let Mr. Dan.
Hi, sweetheart.
I just got one last real quick sci-fi tangent.
What's up?
Two things came out over the past week. One is, and I've been saying this for a year now, Dune is finally coming out on HBO Max and in theaters October 1st. It's finally coming out. It's fun. I've been waiting for this remake since 1984. I've been waiting for this thing.
Yeah.
So I've been waiting.
I'm not saying it's not legitimate, man.
I'm sorry. I've been
It's
so
legit.
excited for this. It was supposed to come out the December before last, and it hasn't come out because of COVID. And it's been the reel's been sitting on a shelf for a year and a half.
Yeah.
So I can't wait for that to come out. Second thing, coming out in, I think they said September or October. Foundation on Apple TV. Check it out. It's going to be awesome. If you're a big Isaac Asimov fan, you're going to love it, I think. So watch that.
Cool.
Yeah. Foundation was a great books. I love them.
Not for nothing.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I think what they're doing, though, I think if you've read the books, and I have, and if you've read the robot novels, which I have, they're a little bit intertwined as far as the whole sequence of events with the fall of the Foundation and all that. There's a whole big thing going on with the robots and Ardeniel and all this kind of stuff. Whatever the case may be. I think they're mixing the stories a little bit to dramatize it a little better. So some of the diehard fans, I think you're going to want to kind of take it at face value as a show and not how accurately it goes towards the books. I think they're going to go, because there's a lot of cool characters in there, like the mule and stuff like that. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. But there's a lot of cool stuff in there. And I think they're kind of mixing up the timeline a little bit. But I think it's going to be good from what I've seen. They just came out with their second trailer last week. So I think
that's why it's nice to be a nerd that enjoys this stuff but doesn't read. So the books can't ruin the movie.
Well,
yeah, not for nothing. Just a quick plug. If you guys haven't seen it yet, the new Godzilla Kong movie that just got out, it's definitely worth watching. It's a freaking roller coaster ride. Oh my gosh, it's nonstop. It's just I'm not gonna ruin it for you, but there's a surprise Titan that comes in at the last minute.
That surprise Titan. The ending, my jaws dropped.
Well, Godzilla, did they bring back Mothra? Did they bring back Mothra?
No. I'm going to ruin it for you. You got to watch it. It's really good.
Anyway, and if you like really screwed up time stories, and you're okay with reading subtitles, watch Dark. It's on Netflix. It's, I think, It's a German show. It's got subtitles. But if you can't follow weird time stories, don't watch it. You'll get frustrated. But if you like watching different timelines and how they interact with each other and everything, it's about 3 or 4 different timelines that intertwine. It's really wild. But watch it. It's got 3 seasons, and it's awesome.
I can't believe Abby's hung in there this long.
She is so
such a
trooper. Abby, watch Dark, Abby. You'll love it. You'll get it.
Oh, good Lord.
I won't let her watch Dark. Sorry.
I don't think he's going to let her watch the new Godzilla movie. Okay.
She wanted to see it. She saw the advertisement. She's like, I want to watch the dinosaur movie, and I'm like, no, you don't.
It's a roller coaster ride, man. I mean, it's just nonstop. Boom, 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 boom.
Nice.
Yeah.
She's really tired because she's been doing school for kindergarten. So she got up early and she's been in school for half the day, and then I ran her ragged.
Nice.
Looks like she's ready to give us the close.
Yeah, it's 8 o'clock. It's her bedtime.
Yeah.
Abby, it's all yours in 3, 2, 1. Go for it.
Keep enriching, keep educating, and clear sky. We'll see you next time on AstroWorld TV.